Originally, the purple-berry plant was subsequently spread throughout the colonies due to Auntie's Choice's poorly regulated interstellar shipping. Well, actually, it was due to Spacer's Choice, which somehow merged with another company to become Auntie's
Line
Choice.
our pockets.
These corporate interactions make little sense to me.
Finally! Maybe now I can get to the truth of this kill order nonsense. I just need to check our comms device for a coded message from my old acquaintance, Severin.
Even though that may offend some of my more literal-minded colleagues. But I digress.
I knew it! He wants to help me find out who's behind this. I sent a reply telling him to meet me here on Cloister. It's not too far and should be safe.
The most potent of discharges this documentarian has ever witnessed, in a rare Auntie's Choice lab recording in our archive, which we acquired from a corporate defector to the Protectorate before our stellar system was sealed and the Order ceased daily interactions with our Protectorate allies. But again, Auntie's Choice's unlettered scientists showed that the berries were not poisonous at all. Instead, they were infected with a microscopic parasite, the purple-berry parasite, or PBP, as it is colloquially called in Auntie's Choice's records. More specifically, the PBP eggs are found in every berry of an infected plant, where these eggs have been subdermally injected by the second stage of the parasite. But I am getting ahead of myself. Let's examine the PBP life cycle in detail. After an infected berry is eaten by a host, the microscopic eggs inside the berries are exposed to the host's digestive enzymes, which trigger their hatching. These parasites enter their second stage, as spiky, worm-like creatures with outsized, pincer-like mandibles, which then proceed to feed on the host directly, ingesting tissue and blood along the entire intestinal tract. These worms are eventually expelled when they reach a size of approximately 2 centimeters in length, and they then seek out nearby purple-berry plants to lay their eggs in the ripening purple berries. And I should add that the plants are well fertilized in this entire process. Also, as the expelled contents contain undigested purple-berry seeds, the distribution of the plants is increased, helping infected purple-berry plants to spread farther and grow better than uninfected ones. Perhaps unsurprisingly, careless
Another object. Just go. Excuse me, I don't think you have the authorization.
It's fine, but don't get too close. You won't survive direct contact with the rift. Salutations. We've been doing our utmost to find ways to manipulate this rift or extract data from it. Unfortunately, our efforts have been ineffective thus far. I suppose it's too much to hope for, but would you, perchance, happen to have any practical experience with or mathematical understanding of the rift phenomena? Hmm? Wait. Actually, this isn't some jest. You'll have to forgive me for not taking your assertion at face value. Perhaps a demonstration. For science, of course.
immune response leads to violently explosive diarrhea, resulting in the expelling of the worms, the berries, and most of the person's gastrointestinal tract.
All the items we put into the rift, they've been reconstituted.
But in a state far different from their original configuration.
Upselling unnecessary procedures or prescribing expensive ointments such as their antibiotics. A topical
Damn it. Reverted to its previous state. Failure of the device or an inevitable effect of the passage of time. Perhaps the architect has imposed certain limits on the rifts.
non-zero nutritional value.
Architect above. That was incredible. That small, portable device changed the state of the rift anomaly in an instant. From observing how the device operates and how the rift reacted to it, it seems to be using some kind of energy burst generated by a magnetic field to re-deregulate the structure of the field around the rift. Truly an astounding piece of technology.
The answer was found in a lab history. Specifically, a history text on
That's quite ingenious. The rifts are unlike any other phenomena heretofore observed. We've still so much to learn. would you consider allowing me the opportunity to open the casing and examine the inner workings? No, forget I asked. What a preposterous question. Thank you for the demonstration. It was most enlightening. You have given my team and I a good deal to think about, and to try and fit into our current theoretical framework. It seems rifts do not fit cleanly into our current understanding of the universal equation.
Where to go? Procedure. Of ointments such as their antibiotics. A topic that
Come on, damn it. Reverted to its previous effect of the passage of time. Architect above. It seems to be using some... That's... Would you think it's...
Inpatient anti-choice administration methods
Hurry! Assistant, activate the monitoring equipment and take readings.
A variety of methods were tested and found effective, but they were all time-consuming and wasteful of the edible portion of the purple berries. So these
Reverted again! Infuriating!
Eventually, the answer was found.
Again, quickly, record all the relevant data and take down your observations.
A crossbreed of two different earth fish species called salmon and tuna was found that contained a reference to anisakid nematodes, or salmon worms, with an estimated 70 to 90% of all salmon being infected by these parasites. More importantly, the text contains the solution to eradicating these parasites. Freezing. The simple and obvious, yet untried, act of freezing the salmon meat killed the embedded parasites. A quick test showed the same procedure worked on PvP.
You. I don't know you, but you, I do. It's good to see you, Asa. It's me, Severin. You know, I've never been to Cloister before. It's cold.
What is wrong with you? Boy, damn it! Did they mentally refresh you?
No, let's just say I'm well lubricated. You tried the new Prestige gin? It helps when you have to do something you really don't want to do. Yes, there are a bunch of sentinels in hiding. When I give the word, they're to execute both of you.
Not before I mentally refresh your brain pan with my knife.
All of them mislabeled parasite-free. More accurately, the label should read live parasite-free. But in any case, Auntie's Choice once again demonstrated their contempt.
Maybe I deserve to be. I didn't want to do this.
For any pretense.
I guess I shouldn't have questioned the kill order so loudly. It was real. It came from the exalted leader herself. She summoned me, knew of the message I'd sent, said I'd ruined everything. To save myself, save the Dawn, I had to do this. I'm a coward. I didn't want to die. I'm sorry, Asa.
I do not appreciate your mockery. This is a true betrayal. One that demands to be paid for in blood. Starting with Acolyte Severin here.
No. Sentinels! Target confirmed!
Envy!
Separate from the Protectorate when arguably all order might exist without them in the first place.
Freezing. The simple and obvious
Over here!
of freezing the salmon meat kills the embedded
You.
parasite.
But... No, let's just say I'm well.
Not before I mentally refresh your brain pan with my knife.
The remaining parasite eggs were not removed.
I didn't want to do this. I'm sorry, Asa.
Absolutely not. We don't need his help. We should just kill him and get on with the Sentinel killing. If we die, at least I'll be taking a great many of them with us. You make a compelling argument. No need to waste our time killing yet more faceless cogs in the Protectorate machine. As fun as that may be.
But you're basically just asking me whether I'd like to be killed by you or the Sentinels. Because when they figure it out, they'll execute me.
Mindless Auntie's Choice consumers especially purchase a large variety of Purpleberry-themed foods and beverages, all of them mislabeled parasite-free. More accurately, the label should read live parasite-free.
That gin must have muddled my gray matter more than I thought. I'd have sworn there was no way out of this, but what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Thank you. And thank you, Asa. I thought I was dead.
What an idiot. I can't believe I thought of him as a friend.
OA archive transcription number 3918-4 ends here.
I can't believe she betrayed us. And the whole of the Dawn to save her own life. What a coward. The unspeakable things I will do when I find her. Well, once I find her. The Exalted... No, I won't refer to her as such any longer. Dagmar continually moved around for safety. She always initiated contact with me. We do know that she was in league with the Sentinels, though. There's nothing of it but to get ourselves inside their headquarters on Praetor. We'll track her by accessing their comm system. Couldn't have said it better myself. Fortunately, we don't need to worry about hacking their systems. Because my parents were vigilant. I stole their access codes when I was younger, but never had the nerve or call to use them. Once we do, they'll become unusable, as they'll set off all sorts of alarms.
Available for review in this episode's transcripts, footnotes, in case it escaped your attention. Moving on. Only heavily adapted predatory fauna eke out a brutal existence here, relying on their mesmerizing patterns of bioluminescence. We Homo sapiens should ostensibly stand no chance. If not for Order astuteness in the field of fulminology, our grounding station and charge dispersal network mitigate the danger posed by Praetor's persistent electrical storms. In lay people's parlance, a network of lightning rods tie into the central grounding station via a combined 307.47 miles of subterranean high-tension wiring, thus providing a conduit for excessive electrical activity in the atmosphere to reach the grounding station, where it's safely dispersed, typically. Tenured station operators estimate the system is 78% effective at mitigating 82% of the danger posed by hypercharged atmospherics. Our electrical dispersion system is ingeniously adaptable. Reversing the system's polarity will send surplus protons from the grounding station backward to any rod in the network. A convenient life forms poking around where they are unwanted. One quick jolt, and they're off to the hereafter. Simply an intriguing possibility to consider as you mull the many fascinating facts behind the Praetor grounding station. Objectively, a notable location of scientific inquiry.
Addendum. Peer review of this episode post-recording revealed the subterranean grounding network is in fact 307.51 miles of wire instead of 307.
Not my blood!
We apologize profusely for this careless failure of basic fact-checking. The responsible researchers have been formally censured.
Additional erudite entered.
Intruder at central control! Battle station!
Additional erudite entertainment is forthcoming.
Keep from arresting attention, for your sake.
Additional erudite entertainment is forthwith. Next out. Well, the seers among you already know.
Questioned, never doubted, zeal never lacked.
How many digits in pi? How many numbers am I? 445923078 16406286208.
Like us. Your father's all red worms.
How many digits in pi? How many numbers am I? How many digits in pi? How many numbers am I? How many numbers am I?
Next, the latest field data validating or repudiating our forecasts and relevant informational details for near present and future calculations. And now presenting the Department of Research and Inquiry's analysis of our Arcadian cohabitators, specifically Auntie's Choice, with a focus on their shortcomings. It is a straightforward thesis. A corporate transactional society inevitably suffers from dissatisfaction and fracturing among the population. For empirical evidence, Exhibit A, their product refinement center and chemical plant on Praetor, occupied early in the corporate incursion of that inhospitable Elysium moon, ostensibly to create sufficient essential materials, lubricants, additives, skincare products, to feed their war effort and appease the superficial wants of their citizenry. Every new consumable must represent a 110% improvement over the previous one, an insulting hyperbole of mathematics and a gross disappointment for their subjects. And yet both facilities produce more problems than products. The chemical plant is a cesspool of industrial waste, byproducts of Anti's haphazard production process. The product refinement center is plagued by...
Dagmar didn't betray us to the Sentinels. She is a Sentinel, with a fucking office here in Central Control. It's enough to make one take leave of their sanity.
I reckon that ship's already sailed off into another fucking dimension.
I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that. Fortunately, there's an easy solution to Dagmar's betrayal. One which involves removing her head from her body. Or maybe we should start with the disemboweling? So many choices.
Bettering their fate, it is only a matter of time before they threaten work stoppage again. These issues are all symptoms of a larger plan. Inefficiency.
Well, well, as a Helia Leitinger, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised you've thirst for wanton violence. You were always bright, though still somehow too thoroughly deluded to apprehend the truth. But then again, you never really wanted to, did you?
Now do carry on. And as always, anticipate and calculate.
I'm sure I don't know. Obviously some manner of ruse to distract from her unforgivable betrayal.
Yes, well, can it truly even be considered betrayal if it was always lies? And Aza's willful ignorance made her the perfect candidate when I started the Dawn at the Consul's behest.
What are you talking about? There were cultists before me.
No, there were not. The fiction of a cult was born out of the need to convince the Sovereign to return to the true spirit of the Protectorate. The Consul feared he was too weak. I see that Aza isn't the only willfully ignorant person here. Society needs to be controlled for the greater good, by any means necessary. Or would you prefer a more corporate way of life?
Anyone with a lick of sense would prefer our way. The only folk who jump at the chance to shackle others are the ones who are free from that same control. Ain't that right?
Dagmar, all this can't be right. How can you spout such lies? Our cause is righteous. It has to be.
And there it is. I almost felt sorry for you, Azahelia. You were so pathetic. So willing to believe specious arguments backed with only the flimsiest of proofs. Ah, well, such is life. But your usefulness is not yet at an end. Your death will put me back in the Consul's good graces. Goodbye, Aza.
No, that's too quick. What about... No, not painful enough. Yes, that's it. I just need to find a piece of heat-conducting metal and something to peel the skin effectively. I did that a long time ago. Did you somehow not realize this?
Sentinels, The traitor Azahelia Lightinger is in the compound.
Rival.
She is to be terminated
Eliminate.
forthwith.
Yeah.
And now, constructually compelling yet categorically voracious statements regarding products researched and designed to increase energy, efficiency, creativity, and focus. Pinnacle Crabble flavored tea.
Didn't ask for this, but you will.
From the Order of the Ascendant.
Stop talking.
Never forget.
Sentinels, the traitor Azahelia Lightinger is in the compound. She is to be terminated forthwith.
Hurt like
Ready to go.
Don't make me avenge you.
Data validated.
like me.
Out of sight and on the way. Let's get...
All will pay.
Specifically
For Gary!
on their shortcomings. It is a straightforward thesis that the transactional society inevitably suffers from
Hazard benefits! Inside.
Center and chemical plant on Praetor, occupied early in the corporate incursion of that inhospitable Elysian moon.
Help me end this fight on my feet.
Materials.
Better than overtime!
The wants of their citizens. Every new consumable must represent a 110% increase over the previous subjects.
Disruptive influences!
Refinement Center is plagued by disgruntlement. The Winter Group has threatened a work stoppage.
Where's our boss? Better than overtime!
Resolve this stalemate. Production has resumed, yet the divisions in their society remain. Now that the workforce has achieved some leverage in bettering their fate, it is only a matter of time before they threaten work stoppage again. These issues are all symptoms of a larger plague: inefficiency. The corporatists claim their mission statement is the pursuit of self-betterment. In reality, their cutthroat practices and slipshod production methods will only lead to further fracturing and unhappiness, predicted with a 49.7% certainty. Source references, footnotes, and appendices for this analysis.
Replenishing my station!
Continuing as predetermined. Next up, well, the seers among you already know.
Generating primes. Welcome again to Advanced
Back in business.
Algebraics, Section 4, Session 43. Please continue to enjoy the faculty which I have selected today based on its arithmetic-based content. My name is Edmund Vandersmith, Senior Tenured Laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Humanistics for the Order of the Ascendant. Today's lecture will focus on the generation of prime numbers, techniques, and uses thereof. I know. Prime numbers.
It's a privilege to die.
Consider this a basic with refresher course in remedial pneumonistics for those new to the Order. I will start by explaining what a prime number is, despite the fact that you should have learned that definition decades ago.
Someone call for a medic. To the rescue. Sight unseen. Someone call for a medic.
I've been called many things, and repetitious is one of them. I have also been called redundant several times.
You can fight
Once I was called iterative, if you can believe that.
craftsmanship.
So, prime numbers. What are they?
Transpiring
I'm
events,
alive.
philosophical
Who needs to die?
profundities, informed insight into the future, and also music.
Students, the consul's coup was no anomaly. His totalitarian takeover was telegraphed. Yet to some, he remains an unpredictable variable. Allow me to fill in the gaps in your data. Data point 1, Consul Thoreau has served as counselor to 2 generations of sovereigns. They trusted him implicitly, which put him in a position to take advantage of that trust. Data point 2.
Imbeciles! How did you let Azza get this far? Stop her! She means to assassinate me!
Naively believed he was guiding with kindness, engendering loyalty. I say naively.
I've learned in streets. In our midst.
Bettering this! Why are you making for dirt?
Level of coercion. Independent thought certainly never flourished under the sovereign's rule.
It's like...
A totalitarian power that does not pair well with scientism's rich root.
Take a gander. What kind of Johnny
This machine's duration will not exceed 3.7 years. Broadcast. Presented sans context to maximize listener reaction.
Keep your guts on the inside.
Surprise you, but not us. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
Do not worry when things become complicated. You went to school and studied, then matriculated. There's no need to suffer from complexity in the face of a source of large complexity. Complexity.
Liquored up on artificial
Enemy spotted.
The system abides.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
We have tools to tame high-order equations. They are useful in...
Dagmar would never let herself be cornered. She's sure to have an escape route. We should find it.
You can take the formulas derivative, or use square roots of numbers approximative. Complexity is partially imaginary. No need for fear. The concept is
Huh? You're still alive! No, let's not be too hasty here. You seem a rational person. There must be something we can do to resolve this peacefully. Please don't let Azza get her hands on me.
Why are you talking to them, Dagmar? I'm the one you must answer to. Fine. But you are only prolonging the inevitable.
I must say, I am in favor of prolonging the inevitable myself. What I did for the greater good, to save the colony, all at the Consul's behest. It was my duty as a loyal subject to the true Protectorate. What other reason need there be? And Aza, she was an obvious choice. So lost, so dead inside, so in need of guidance. But then, she went berserk. I never imagined how she'd take to the killing and mayhem. You brought me great praise from the Consul. Until you started asking questions and killing the wrong people.
None of the calories with none of the flavor.
From the Order of the Ascendant. Always remember, every moment, every minute calculation brings us...
The Consul feared that the Sovereign wasn't up to the task he inherited. He actually believed the subjects no longer needed such a firm guiding hand. So the Consul set to creating a challenge for the Sovereign to rise to make manifest the hidden dangers he refused to see. It began with labeling political subversives members of a fictitious cult. When that didn't work, the Consul enlisted me to make the glorious dawn a reality.
To experienced Lumen astronomers, his answer was the expected one. But I can already...
Which wrong people didn't she kill? We were supposed to work through intimidation and the perceived threat to our system. Sure, maybe kill some subjects, those that could possibly become threats to the Protectorate, but not the dozens she slaughtered. For Matriarch's sake, she was killing vigilance. And then she started asking questions that would have led to her discovering the truth. She had to die before the Consul decided to cut the link between Aza, him, and the Dawn. Me.
The basics of thermal divarication emission theory.
Enough of this blathering on. It's well past time for Dagmar and her life to part ways.
Including light, infrared, and radio emissions. And the matter reflects only a small...
Feel free to think on that while I start in on her dissection.
Rich which brings me to data point 3. Without the plan and our interpretation of it, his regime's...
You there!
I present this excerpt from...
A lot.
Surprise you, but not us. Next up, the seers among you already know.
Unfriendly company. They're fine.
Recharge! Recharge! A lot. Dagmar would never let herself be cornered. She's sure to have an escape route. We should find it.
Ah! You're still alive! No, let's not be too hasty here. You seem a rational person. There must be something we can do to resolve this peacefully. Please don't let Aza get her hands on me.
Why are you talking to them, Dagmar? I'm the one you must answer to. Well, I'm waiting to hear your ineffectual arguments as to why you should be spared. And then I'll kill you. You can start by telling me why. Why'd you do it, and why me?
Why? I'm a loyal subject to the True Protectorate. What other reason is there? When the Consul tasked me to help save the colony, I did not even think to ask why. And you were an obvious choice. So lost, so dead inside. But then you went berserk. I never could have imagined how you'd take to the killing and mayhem. You brought me great praise from the Consul. Until you started asking questions and killing the wrong people.
Next, the latest field data validating or repudiating our forecasts and relevant informational details for near present and future calculations. Warmest courtesies, fellow ascendants. Please collaborate in ponderance of our former Protectorate colleagues. To consider them simply as adversaries is intellectually lazy. They are a subjugated population, incurious, cognitively atrophied. What horror. The Protectorate overseers have much to answer for. Lest you forget why we parted professional ways, they pacify their subjects. Correction, they stupefy them. With depressive pharmaceutics and relentless propaganda, unlike us. Our sum is greater than our parts. We collaborate with unforced enthusiasm for scientism, and of course to avoid undue criticism of our theses at peer review. Our estranged colleagues, meanwhile, pit neighbor against neighbor, reporting one another for nothing more egregious than independent thought. Of this we have ample evidence. Protectorate rank and file have washed upon our shores, sputtering testimonials of so-called mental refreshment, a process wherein citizenry undergo chemical thought suppression. In a praetor fortress dedicated to this insidious purpose, they emerge more intellectually docile than when they entered, perfect Protectorate subjects. Such deplorable practices have spurred some to action. A Protectorate support group on Free Market Station seeks to rehabilitate the mentally refreshed. Free Market Station is hosting a training group to help ex-Protectorate subjects think for themselves, make them productive members of a true society. We should welcome them back, our former colleagues, replace the empty promise of the paradigm with the verifiable veracity of the universal equation.
Now do carry on. And as always, anticipate and calculate.
And now, additional data and/or music determined to facilitate cognition. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. Function f to the n equaling our starting zen. Function fn minus 1 plus the fn minus 2. In all cases that we know, starting where n is so low. Now you know just what to do. Start the cycle, here's the cue. It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely summing to preceding numbers, gives us math that brings us wonders. Define the recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation.
Enough of this blathering on! It's well past time for Dagmar and her life to part ways. She's dead.
Gazing upon the golden spiral, a part that's quite so vital.
As am I. Our enthusiasm got the better of us. She should have suffered more. It was too quick a death for one who betrayed not only me, but the whole of the Dawn. Now that Dagmar is dead, I'll be leading the Dawn into the glorious future. You're absolutely right. They turned on me once, they could do it again. And it will be easier to pick them off if I disband the Dawn. I can send out a general message to all the cells from here. I'll say our communications have been compromised or some such. That the Exalted Leader is dead and that they need to separate and protect themselves. That should work, though I suspect a fair amount will simply just jump into the closest rift. I'm sure there will be some that ignore the message completely, though. Enough to keep my knife skills up at least. It's done. Let's leave this place. It sickens me.
1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 1, 44, and so on and so forth. It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely something.
And now, constructually compelling yet categorically veracious statements regarding products researched and designed to increase energy, efficiency, creativity, and focus.
Above-average scienticians acknowledge the value of Cantor dust.
The uncountably best salt substitute from the Order of the Ascendant. An ease-setting witticism to confer to colleagues at break time, the universal equation should maturate more rapidly and solve its own problems. This popular number has been conclusively proven to promote cognitive function.
The color of space, a chromospectral analysis. When asked about the average color of space, the famous stellar cartographer Newton Odescard replied, with no hesitation, beige. To experienced lumen astronomers, his answer was the expected one. But I can already hear the obtuse listener bleating, with their faces contorted into a rictus of ignorance. Wouldn't the average color be black or white, or simply a shade of gray? No. No, it would not. The answer is rooted in the science of how hot objects absorb and emit light, which answers the ancillary mystery of why there are no green stars. To understand all of this, you must understand the basics of thermal divarication emission theory. The typical piece of non-heated matter absorbs most electromagnetic radiation that falls upon it, including light, infrared, and radio emissions. And the matter reflects only a small portion of that radiation. The visible part of that reflection is its color. However, most stellar objects generate far more radiation than they absorb, so they can be modeled as an idealized object, which is assumed to absorb 100% of all electromagnetic radiation and re-emit some based on its temperature and composition. Stellar composition determines what packets of light will be emitted, while stellar temperature determines the frequency of light and hence what portion of the spectrum that light is in. Low temperature emission is mostly infrared and not visible to us without proper instrumentation, which I need not describe here. As the stellar body's temperature increases, its emitted light shifts up into visible light, through red into orange, then yellow, then white. Even rare blue stars exist. These are the hottest stars, emitting mostly blue and invisible ultraviolet light. So why are there no green stars, you wonder? I would think the listeners could easily draw this trivial conclusion for themselves, but if I must... It's because any star emitting green light also emits bluish and/or reddish light too, resulting in a non-green star. There is no naturally occurring stellar composition that emits solely packets of green light. In fact, such a composition itself would constitute evidence for intelligent interference, and no such evidence of any kind has ever been detected. Let's get back to Newton Odescard, the famous stellar cartographer. The methodology of the Odescard's chromospectral survey was straightforward. He partitioned his astronomical field of view into grids, then tagged each object in every grid. He ignored empty regions, as black would only dim the color and not change its fundamental hue. The light from every galaxy, star, nebula, and quasar was gathered and fed into a central tabulator for computation. The subsequent spectral analysis produced a final answer to within 0.5% of the predicted value. And that result was beige. More specifically, in the cylindrical coordinate model of color space, the hue is 42 degrees, while the saturation is a mere 9%, and the color is a full 100%. In novice terms, while the color tends towards white, the addition of a variety of reds and some blues results in a more beige tone. And there you have it. So go forth, neophytes, and as you study your lessons, stare at the nondescript walls of your library, classroom, or dormitory facility, and indulge in the knowledge that beige is also the color of the universe.
As determined, you're listening to Grand Plan Wireless. For transpiring events, philosophical profundities, informed insight into the future, also music. As foretold by tenured seers and our own programming schedule, it is time for another illuminative installment of Ask a Vicar, featuring Vicar Magsaysay. As foretold by tenured seers and our own programming schedule, it is time for another illuminative installment of Ask a Vicar, featuring Vicar Magsaysay. A listener asks, what is the difference between the Protectorate's paradigm and our grand plan? Vicar, enlighten this layperson if you please.
Why not ask the difference between a raindrop and the sea? Or the vacuum of the firmament and the core of a gas giant? Our grand plan is everything. Macro waves, N-rays, uranium. Every atomical particle in the universe and its motion. Predictable ones, we solve the universal equation. The paradigm, on the other hand, is nothing. A void. Calling it hot air lends it too much validation. What else would you expect from the Protectorate? Those adept dissemblers. They have rewritten their history, edited their old media reports, erasing all praise for the Order's instrumental contributions to their success. They've substituted facts with their subject-pacifying fiction, and so the burden of truth has fallen upon our broad shoulders. Without truth, there can be no path to ascension. Our grand plan is that path. Their paradigm leads to nowhere, and quickly.
Keep put, much is left to come. Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper. Something your fractions should never be.
It's strange how I ended up here. With the cult nothing but an empty, discarded idea. If I hadn't started traveling with you, I may have spent my days hunting down the members I thought traitors and never realized it was Dagmar until too late. You may not have noticed, but I have a tendency to be a little impulsive. Reckless, even. Not too reckless to heed your counsel, at least when it comes to the remnants of the Dawn.